So, if you're like brand new, like say you signed up last night, this is still a great call for you. Obviously, you're going to want to have your onboarding with your upline, but we're basically going to go into like that very next step, right? You've had that onboarding call. You sort of talked about um, making your lists and doing some reach outs and what the smart start is. You've maybe watched some videos on main attractions and in your back office, right? So when I say make those lists, like make those lists immediately. That is where we all start. And it's going to be, consisting a ton of friends and family and your boyfriend's sisters, your girlfriend's brothers, like those people that are readily available to you 24/7. That's where we start, right? Um, Whatever onboarding you watched, make a list of 20 people. And in your Smart Start workbook, there are pages that help you think of people. So when I sit down and I'm like, who do I know? I'm like, great, I know 5 people. You do know a lot more you don't even realize. I believe it's page 8 or 9. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It says, who do you know? And it asks you specific questions about people, right? So if I asked you who's really into makeup, I bet a couple people would pop into your mind without you just having to sit there and think of them. Use those pages to help you think of those 20 people. And then underneath each of those people, let's write 2 people that associate with them, right? So for example, my maid of honor, the 2 people underneath her were her soon to be sister in law and her mother, right? I sort of know them, right? But they're not like I don't talk to them every single day. But right there, let's get the maid of honor on my products. And then when she tries them for that first week and she's like obsessed with them, it's like, great, can I reach out to your sister in law and your mom and see if they'd be interested? That right there is 60 people, you guys. And even if 10% convert, hello, that's like 5 VIPs. So it's so important to make those lists right away. And then going off of that, your dream team list. Now, these people can overlap with your warm market list. However, the dream team list is so important. And there is no bad reason to have someone on that list, right? For example, it can be someone that you just want to work with because they're your best friend. That's a great reason to reach out about this business, right? That's where you should start. Like, hey, I just started this. I see the potential. Let's do this together. Let's run. Let's get, effing rich together. This is going to be so much fun. You're my best friend anyway. I talk to you daily. Let's add this in. It can be someone who, like me, when I started, I needed something like this for my life because I wanted to stay home with my son and not pay for childcare and not have a 9 to 5. I also just needed something for myself while staying at home as a mom. That can be pretty isolating. Like, this is my drive, this is my passion. It can be someone who doesn't need this per se, but they would just be great at it, right? So these are all examples of why someone could be on that dream team list. And then obviously ask your upline. However, are you going over? Yeah, how to reach out to them. It is so important when it comes to this dream team, when we're reaching out, to talk to them like you would always speak to them, right? You're not going to text your best friend about a new restaurant you tried. Hey babe, how are you? So I just tried this amazing restaurant. Would you be interested in trying it out with me? No, you'd be like, sis, I just went to this deli. The food was so bomb. We're going tomorrow. That's how you should talk about this business with people. Okay? Especially when, they're in your warm market, they're readily in your network. Um and again, your upline can help you. Thank you, Gab. Your upline can help you with those reach outs, but that's the attitude and that's the angle you should be taking in the beginning with this, right? And you don't have to have a big team to be able to reach out to people about it. Like, if you see the potential and you're excited about it, that's all you need to bring people on with you, especially when they're people that already trust you. Um, that first text to them, let's say, I'm giving you information. Don't give them an option. Don't say, can I? Say, I'm going to give you information about this business because I know it's going to change my life and I want to help change yours. So be like, let's get on a call because I was going to call you in 2 hours anyway. Let me give you 5 minutes of info about it. And then there you go. So those first reach outs should actually be the easiest of your life because they are your immediate network.
I love
Anything
that.
to add?
Yeah, I wanted to add two things to that. So when you make this list, it's not like you make it and push it to the side and forget about it. Okay. This is a list that's going to be constantly growing and growing, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on a piece of paper, whatever it is, whether it's on an Excel spreadsheet. I have some of my type A girls in here that like have spreadsheets for everything. But when you're driving in the car and you're like, oh my God, that girl from high school, like I haven't thought of her in 2 years. She's going on my list, you know? You have to constantly be thinking of that when you run into someone in the mall. Start a conversation, okay? Didn't think of it like that. Like Kate was just saying, have normal conversations. When you run into someone in the mall, you're not gonna be like, hey, Sarah, so I was just wondering if you'd ever be interested in working for my business. No, you're like, oh my God, how are you? I saw you had a baby. Like, how's everything going? You're catching up, right? When they ask how you're doing, just be like, I'm so good. You know, I'm working full time and I also just started a business from my phone. So things are going really well right now. They're going to ask you about it. Okay. So when you're excited about this and you have that energy and you are talking about it to everyone, but not forcing it, they're going to end up asking more questions. And that's kind of your way into this. Okay. So be excited, be energetic, and keep your list going. Number two that I wanted to touch on about this, when you're making this list, don't prejudge people, right? Don't say, oh, they're too good, or they have too many followers, or they have too much money, they're not going to be good, or they don't have enough money, they can't afford my products or my business. You don't know, okay? So offer it to everyone. I want you guys to think when you go in to pitch someone the business, number one, I want you to remember now, whether you like it or not, you're a salesperson, okay? So you have to take the emotion out of this, and you have to offer your product and your business to everyone you know, okay? And I want you to know that wait, what was I going to say? It was good too. Crap. Okay. Anyway, but don't prejudge people. You don't know what their situation is and if they need this at this exact time and place. Okay. That's what I wanted to say about the list. So make your list. Next, we're going to be talking, they're going to touch on everything social media tomorrow, from branding, from your bio, from posts, all that good stuff. I just want to talk on a few things you can do when you first start to get your page going, right? So these are some things you're going to run with your upline, which is perfect, right? You join this business with someone, use them as your little Monat guide, right? Hey, I have a question on this. What do you think about this? Making a coming out post is huge, okay? We have tons of examples on the Facebook group. Some examples, you know, posting a picture on your social media and letting people know I started something new, you know, I started a new business, and talk a little bit about your why and why you got going with this. Okay. It might be different for everybody, which is good, right? You're going to attract people who have the same wants as you and values as you and story as you. So we're going to make a coming out post. This is basically going to preface your whole like social media and feed, knowing that, hey, I started something new. I'm so excited for it. Please follow along for the journey. It's going to be amazing. You know, you don't have to come out and say, hey, I just joined Monat. If you need hair products, hit me up. You know, we're going to try and make this about you and your journey. And people are going to ask questions along the way. Okay. So go look at those examples and run a few things by your upline, see what works out for you. And if you joined a few weeks ago and you haven't done this yet, it's never too late. Okay. And then when you first start, right, you're not going to just explode all your Monat stuff over your social media, right? You're not going to like just put your bio, hey, here's my link if you want to go buy something, right? Just take a deep breath. And we're going to do this the right way, because when I first started, I was going crazy, sending everyone my link, and I burned, you know, I probably lost sales, right, along the way. Which they might have come back around, but I could have probably closed some in the beginning if I would have just taken a deep breath and took a second there. So I want you guys to just focus right now on posting more about your life in general, right? What are you eating for breakfast? What home workouts are you doing? What quarantine stuff is making you laugh? What memes, you know, different things like that. So people can get to know you and they can see that you're more active on social media, right? Getting your face on your camera is a huge one too. Okay. And I know a lot of girls are scared of that. Just talk about something. You know, you could do those little question boxes with your boyfriend to get more comfortable with it and start getting your face on the camera. Okay. Once you do that, you can start putting stuff about Monat in there as well and kind of, working it in, right? The Rejuvenate oil is a great one. The dry shampoo is a great one. If you want to take a bomb picture of your hair, I just blow dried my hair and I'm going to do a video later just to show how like shiny it looks, So I want you guys to remember that you are the face of your business and to post about it, right? Don't be nervous. Just be confident and that will be great. So Kate, do you want to touch on anything about that?
Yes. So I'm going to get a little science nerdy on you guys right now. Okay. I was a neuroscience girl. It is actually human nature, science ingrained in us that when we see a face, we are more inclined to pay attention. We see faces. There's a whole part of our brain for recognizing faces. That's it. There are people that have a disease that they can't see faces and remember them. So when we have that part in our brain, we're going to scroll through pictures and pictures of, products and stuff. Not saying don't post a picture of a product. That's not what I'm saying. But the more you just put your face on your camera and talk to people, the more inclined they are to listen. And to also go on what Sam was saying, that old saying, it's like people don't care what you had for breakfast. That's bullshit. They do. We are nosy by nature. Okay. It is human psychology to want to know everything about everyone and everything. You have to put everything out there. People are watching. If you think about what you watch on social media, you're literally watching everyone's stuff, and you always have been, whether you've been in this business or not. We are nosy people. Okay. So people actually do care what you had for breakfast. So keep that in mind. And it doesn't have to be breakfast. It can literally be like, oh my God, who remembers this movie, Mrs. Doubtfire? I'm watching it right now. Right? Yeah. Your life is a reality show. Like, people care whether you realize it or not. They are scrolling through your feed going back 2 years to see, what you were posting. I have people responding to my highlights all the time. And I'm like, I forgot that was even a highlight. Update your highlights. Put your favorite food recipes on there. Even if you barely cook, who cares? They really do care. Sam, do you want me to go or are you good?
No, I'm good. I love all of those points. Someone asked how we should reach out to somebody who we don't know what their financial situation is. The same way I would reach out to someone who I know what their financial situation is, just offer your business and be like, just like Kate was saying, right? Make it about them. Don't make it about you. People can tell when you just want the sale. So be genuine, care about what, and offer them. Guys, guess what? All you have to do is invite someone to a video or to a phone call or to that. And guess what? After that, your upline can take care of the rest of it until you feel comfortable enough to talk about the business, right? So all your job is right now is to invite, all right? We can help you with the rest. All right, next thing we're gonna talk about is mindset, right? So when new girls come into the business, I don't know, this is how I was, right? I was so excited. And then I signed up and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? And I kept texting the girl. I'm like, hey, I need to get going. I need to do this. You have time, right? You're gonna start, you have to jump on the calls. You have to watch the training videos. And at first you might be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much going on, but know that you have time, right? What I'm trying to say is don't think just because we tag you in 6 videos, you have to watch it right then and there, right? Save it. You can always go back to them later. And guess what? You're probably going to have to rewatch them 3 times to understand what they're saying anyway. I need you guys to just take a second and know that this is all a part of the journey, right? When you start a new job, you might be a little overwhelmed at times, right? I know when I was a bartender and I had to learn 35 new cocktails that I had to make, I was a little overwhelmed. But what happened? I went to work the first day. I made some mistakes. I had to ask someone how to make a drink, right? And then I made it 3 or 4 times and I found a way to make it my own and it was great. And then all of a sudden, a month down the line, I'm slinging these drinks I've never skipped a beat, but it has to be learned. And so when you're doing this, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to ask questions and know that, you're going to mess up at some point in time, right? There's going to be people who don't answer your messages. I can tell you that right now. There's going to be a lot of people who tell you no. But guess what? It's a part of the game. It is why I am where I'm at, because I knew that every single night, I remember a text vividly I sent to Jacqueline my first month in the business. She's checking in on me. Hey, how are you doing? Like, how's everything going? I'm like, girl, I'm getting so many no's, but I know that I'm just planting a garden full of like flowers that are just going to bloom. I knew that every person I pitched, yeah, maybe they're not going to commit right then and there, which is very rare actually. But when I keep watering the plants, i.e. going live, checking in on them, following up, posting on my social media, giving them FOMO, they will eventually come around. Okay. So I want you to know that you might not have it down the first month or the second month, but what you need to know is that consistency over time equals success. And guess what? Someone might join at the same time as you, and they might go to MMP in 2 days. Okay. That is not your journey. So I want you to be proud of where you're at and where you're going with this business. And if you know, hey, I'm going to SED, right? I'm going to be at the top of this company. I'm going to be in the $1 Million Club. Then you will be if you stay consistent and keep that fire going. If you're somebody who wants to make $200 a month, that's amazing. But you can't compare your journey to other people's based on your different goals. Okay. So I want you to try and see how many no's can I get today? Because, by chance, or it's going to happen. The more people you're talking to, the more no's you're going to get, but also the bigger chance you are for getting those yeses, right? So don't reach out to 5 people and think, I've reached out to 5 people. Like everyone said no. Good. Keep going until you get that yes. Because believe me, every single person, all my leaders on this call, tell them in the chat, guys, how many no's did you get? And how many no's do you still get, right? People probably think, oh, Sam just signs up all these girls, like they just join her team. No, I get rejected on the daily, and it's great. And I love it because I know, okay, the more times I'm doing this, the better chance. If you don't ask, how are you ever going to know? How are you ever going to know if they said yes or no? Okay. So I'm going to remind you, personal development is huge in this business. 80% of it is mindset. It's super easy to get in your head when you're when you're an entrepreneur, it's super easy to get in your head. Okay. But that's all you have to remember. You are an entrepreneur now. You're a badass. You're a girl boss. Like own it, love it, and run with it. Okay. But what comes with that is making sure that you are putting in the time that you need to develop up here too. Okay. You're going to change as a person throughout the course of this business in a very positive way. But that takes listening to podcasts. When I first started this business, I had none of these trainings. Okay. What I did, I went on Google and I said, how to be successful in network marketing. And I bought every webinar, every book, read it, made mistakes, did it over again, figured out what works. And I'm still making mistakes. Okay. So this isn't like a month journey where you're going to get rich in a month. This is a marathon. Okay. So you guys have to be in it for the long haul and know that if you're showing up every single day and if you're putting in the work, you will be successful. If you want to talk.
What is your biggest key for reaching out to quality cold market?
So if you guys are starting this now, I really don't recommend reaching out to your cold market because you have a huge warm market who already knows you, likes you, and trusts you, right? And those are the 3 things that people need in order to buy your product or buy your service. So as far as cold market goes, if you guys want to start reaching out to more people, just build relationships with them first. Okay. Find people on social media that have the same interests as you. If you love dogs, go search golden doodles on a hashtag and follow some girls who have golden doodles. So you have stuff to talk about, that's just a silly example. But, as you start to, build that relationship up, start asking them, hey, what do you do for work? Like, how's the quarantine been? We staying sane, whatever. And if they're like, oh, I'm working from home here and there, it's slowing down. I'm like, girl, if you ever need anything, I'm not sure if you know what I do, or if you've seen what I do for work on Instagram, but if you're ever looking for an extra source of income, I'd love to give you more information. I think you'd be great on our team, something simple like that. But like I said before, you have tons of people who already know you and love you, that are willing to hear what you have to say. Okay. So don't be afraid. I know some people are more scared to reach out to their family and friends than they are to reach out to strangers. So yeah, go ahead.
Even when you think you've exhausted your warm market, you haven't, I
Yeah.
promise.
I still have people that join me from my warm market that I never pitched, and I should have a long time ago.
Yes. My turn?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So all of this is great. Now, when it's time to start actually, oh, that was almost a catastrophe. When it's time to start actually implementing all these tools you've learned, right? This part is so scary. It was so scary for everyone, right? Like you have a girl or a guy, you know, answering your quiz questions, or you are about to match them with products, right? This is so scary. Like, how do I respond? How do I match them with products, right? Have your upline help you with that first one, right? That's what I always do for my girls. I show them an example of this is what I'd recommend for them. This is what I'd say about the products. I'd show them 2 to 3 options, right? And I have a video that I have my people watch. And if you're new to this business, right, it's so easy to stay safe and let your upline and all of your team members do a ton of these for you in the beginning, which is fine. However, you're not going to learn as quickly, right? You learn the most effectively when you throw yourself into something and try it, make mistakes, fail, right? You're going to learn from those mistakes and fail, and then come around or turn around and be able to do them yourself so much quicker. So, what I always tell my girls, I'm going to do this first one for you. You can watch and see how I do it. You've watched my video. Here's one example of how I would do it. Now, everyone after that, obviously, we will help you match them with those products. I'll tell you what they need, what options they need. I'm still helping. I mean, I still need help with Recs sometimes if I'm in between 1 or 2. I'm not saying don't ask for help with Recs, but that second and third and fourth VIP, give it a shot. Try to write up their rec by yourself and then send it in your group. Send it to your upline. Have them check it for you. Get some feedback, right? Before you send it. There's no shame in any of this, you guys. Like it took me like 6 or 7 months to what quote unquote like find my system for this. Okay. Constantly trying new things, new strategies when it comes to pricing out VIPs, talking to MPs. If you're stuck on what to say, type something up. Even if it's terrible, we'll help you fix it. But that's how you're going to learn. You have to take the initiative and do this yourself. Obviously, ask for help, but you can't rely on everyone on the team and your upline to do everything for you for 3 months, because then you're going to be in the same boat in 3 months and still be asking questions that you could have learned in your first 10 days in the business, right? Do you have anything to add on to that?
No, I like what you said. Obviously, use us, please, especially for conversations with market partners and VIPs in the beginning. But when you send a screenshot, say what you think you should say. As you do that, you're going to learn a lot more.
Yeah. Like I said, don't start sending things without asking. But if you type up that rec, please send it in the group, send it to your upline, and they will, if they need to edit something, if they need to say, hey, let's add this, let's take this out, that is the perfect way to learn. And then just the confidence. I know we've sort of talked about this the entire call. But especially when you're new in this, it's easy to be like, because you are new, anything new, change is scary, but the change is good. Nothing changes unless something changes, right? Be confident in what you have and what you know. If you started 2 hours ago, what can you be confident in? That you are getting amazing training from people that have been incredibly successful in the business. Hello, like she just hit 1.2 million in sales in a month where nobody has any job. Okay. So you're learning from, you're learning from the effing best in the business right now. And we're having calls weekly, daily now. You know that you've seen the potential of what this business can bring. You've already made some friends and relationships. Be confident in that. Be confident in the product because, it is the best product. There's science behind it. You have all of this information. There's so much to be confident in when it comes to what we provide for people, both business and product, that even if you started 20 minutes ago, have Kate third party here. Oh yeah. Even if you started this business freaking 20 minutes ago, like you signed up at 11:59 and this is your first training call. From this call, you have so much to be confident in. You already are set up for success. This is a duplicatable, is that a word? System. Okay. When you take the training, you learn from it and you put it into action, you put in effort, you literally will be successful. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then going off of that,
hold on, you could take a picture of this video and just being like getting training from the top, earners in the company. And that's all you really have to say. Like, I'm so thankful for this opportunity. And if anyone, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So there's so much to already be confident about when you join. Hello, we just dropped the hand sanitizers, and our companies are like out of their own pocket giving back to so many people during this time. Like, that's something to be confident about, working for a company that cares about people, and just, be yourself. I talked about that earlier, but the more authentic you are and true to yourself, putting your face on the camera, it will go so far. And people will watch. And even if they don't reach out today, they're going to reach out next month. The amount of people that I've said have told me, I've been watching your stuff for so long and yada, yada. I get that like once a week, you guys. So even if you feel like your DM should be flooded because you posted the best story ever, someone saw that and they're going to have that in the back of their head, and they're going to come back to you in 3 weeks or 3 months, so keep going, be consistent. Every single day, it can be something different about the business. It can be about the business. It can be about your favorite product. And there's so many ways to keep this versatile and to keep it consistent. But that is the key, to be confident and to be yourself and to be consistent.
I love that. I have two more things to add, and then we're going to let you go and get some sales for the day. About confidence, right? I have some people that think they have to watch every single video or know everything about the product or the business before they start posting. We are learning while we're earning, okay? I do 100% think you should be watching 2 videos a day, maybe 3 right now if you have the extra time. I do think you should be asking a lot of questions, but don't take messy action, okay? You have to take action in order to learn what's gonna work for you, okay? So while you're watching the videos, don't say, I'm going to learn all about this first and then I'm going to go do something. We're going to figure it out as we go. Okay. And the last thing, guys, hype and excitement is going to sell every time over, a picture of a bottle and telling me what benefits it has. Okay. If you're providing FOMO, that you have the best team in the land, that you are going to be doing all of these things in the future. That is going to sell. All right. So be excited. We're so happy to have you. I think that if you take the things that we're saying and actually do them, whether you're scared or whether you think you're going to fail or you're not good enough, I promise you, run with it and your whole life can change in the matter of months.
You didn't even realize you just did an Ohio State reference.
What?
Best team in the land. Best damn team in the land. Darcy, where are you at?
We're going to go now. No, just kidding.
Yeah, Juliana. Bye. Juliana, send me her profile link on Instagram. I'll third party her for you.
Thank you.
Girl, I'm all about that. What questions do we have though? Does anyone have questions?
Yeah, let's take questions for 5 minutes. We'll take 3.
How do you expand your warm market? Guys, create relationships. Rekindle maybe relationships that used to be warm that are now a little lukewarm.
Like, go all the way back on your stories, like every single story, like it, preferably not in the business, but people who you haven't talked to, and message them about their story, right? Go on your Facebook and find girls that you want on your team and find them on Instagram and start rekindling.
I go look back at pictures and like times of my life, like 5 to 10 years ago, and who I was hanging out with. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot they existed. Hello, rekindle that relationship.
Yes, the people who used to like your own pictures and like your old pictures, that's what I do sometimes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where the heck did this lady go?
What else? Any other questions before we go?
Don't underestimate Facebook. I get majority of my VIPs there. You guys make a post on Insta, throw it on Facebook too. Is it sufficient to send a new P an onboarding video? No, oh yeah, an onboarding video. Yes, it is. Okay, there's one that Jenna just made that's 30 minutes long and it goes over everything. But 100%, if it's your first one, have your upline jump on with you, but you need to get on the phone with your new market partners as well, face to face. And there's a few things that I think you guys should all be doing. Going live with new market partners and having a virtual launch party. So your upline can tell you more about that as well. Could we have a video teaching us how to use our apps to build stories? Yes, tomorrow you'll want to tune in to Nella and Jaylee's call at noon. They're going over all things social media. What to do about people you know who totally ignore your message. Follow up with them on something else on social media, on Instagram. Comment on their picture, comment on a story. Most time they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I completely didn't see that. Okay. How do you turn an NP no into a VIP yes? Okay, so when someone turns down the business, I'm like, okay, no problem, I get it. Like, you know, timing's so important. Would you want to try out the products first? We have everything from kids, you know, say naturally based anti-aging products. I'd love to help you with a recommendation. If they don't want the products, ask for a referral. Do you know anyone who would be interested in this? You know, I'm helping people make $1,200 their first month. You know, I can send you some free products if they do sign up. Well, what if new onboarding video? I think it's in main attractions, but if not, I'll post it.
What if they already are using the products and a lot of warm market already uses? I guarantee they have different warm market than you. If you're not related, you probably had new friends growing up. There's so many ways to.
It says her warm market already uses them.
Yeah, but there's more people in her warm market.
There's literally 350 million people in the United States, and there's 200,000 active market partners and not even 1 million VIPs. So we can definitely utilize the tools that we have to grow our market. And, you know, maybe you have curly hair, start doing educational videos on curly hair and what products are best. You know, kind of find your own niche and run with it.
Okay, I think that's good.
Cool.
What's the VIP?
Yeah. I don't want it to go too long. I will post this video. Thank you guys so much, and tune in tomorrow for the social media training. It's going to be amazing. Have a good one.